Hi, I am Dan from Bar Events UK. Usually we supply giant teepees, mobile bars and event staff. But while we're in lockdown and we're locked down, these live shows will be going out weekly, 8 o'clock on Saturday night, as we are tonight. We'll always have a special guest where possible. Today we have Eddie Van Heel from Brooklyn, New York, amazingly. He'll be making a drink for us called T-shirt weather, and he'll also be telling us what life is like over there. So he'll be coming in about 15 minutes or so keep tuned in for that. If you're watching live, tag someone and tell them why they should be watching this show live. If you're watching on playback, hashtag cocktails every day, and also tell someone why they should be watching this show. We're running a competition, so the more tags you put, the more people you tag in it, then the more chance you have in winning the competition. Last week we did exactly the same thing, and I'm pleased to announce that the winner of last week is Dale Stammers. So if you're watching, Dale, we'll send something out in the post. We'll tag you in this video anyway, so you can watch this and you'll realise that you won. We'll send you some cocktails out in the post. It's something that we've been doing, pre-packaged cocktails across the UK, sent out by Royal Mail. So thanks for watching, thanks for tagging, we'll get something sent out to you. So just to reiterate, tag someone, tell them I should watch. If you're watching on playback, hashtag cocktails every day, tag someone and tell them why they should watch. You'll be entered into competition, you'll win cocktails. Right, let's move on. First of all, I have a drink. I hope you all got drinks because we don't want to make drinks without already having one. Bit of a chicken or the egg situation. I'm drinking Aperol Spritz. What are you drinking? Tell us what you're drinking. Who's watching? Stevie T's joining. Valerie Jobson, Andy Collop, Paul Styler, David Lee. Thanks a lot for coming along. Please tell us what you're drinking. Like I say, I'm drinking Aperol Spritz. I want to know what you guys are. I'm sure you'll be all drinking Mai Tais by the end of this. So on that note, that is what we are making, Mai Tais. I'm going to make it 2 times over. Mai Tai is one of these drinks that can be made loads of different ways. I'm going to make a short one, I'm going to make a long one. There are 2 of us in the room, so one of us is going to be drinking the short one. That'll be me, because I like strong drinks, and Laura can have the long one. Right, so first up, I make the classic, I make the short one. It's strong, it's punchy. You're going to need some ingredients, obviously, and they have been listed in this post. Just to reiterate, we are using light, gold, and dark rum. Doesn't matter about the brands, but as I keep on saying every single week, make sure they're good rums, good vodkas, good gins, whatever ingredients you're using, make sure they're good, because if they're crap, that's how your drink's going to taste. I'm using Bacardi White for my white rum. I am using Mount Gay for my golden rum. For my garnish / dark rum, I'm using Goslin's Black Seal, amazing rum. And actually, now the supermarkets are quite well stocked and Amazon's all over. Like, I mean, you can get these ingredients from anywhere really. Sous Chef Online is great for these Funkin purees, which I'm using. This is lemon juice, you'll need that. But Amazon and your supermarkets will do all these spirits that we use. Next up, Cointreau I'm using, but if you've got triple sec or any orange liqueur, that's absolutely fine. Monin Orgeat, it's an almond syrup, so just an almond sugar syrup. Again, if you can't find it in your local supermarket, if Amazon are out of stock, Sous Chef online, SOUSCHEF online, just Google it, they have all this sort of stuff. And then if you're making the long one, you'll need some pineapple juice and orange juice. If you're making the short one, you won't need either of those. So we're going to be making both. I'm going to start with the short one. Ironically, it's in a long glass for me. That's only because when I say long, by the way, I get to both glasses. When I say long, I mean by volume. So it's a larger volume of liquid that's going in there. When I say short, I mean there's less liquid going in there. So the physical height of the glass doesn't really matter. It's how much drink it can fit in the glass. So this is my short glass, despite its size. Let's fire away. Let's get stuck in. So get your Boston tins, get your protein shakers, get your coffee cups. However you're shaking your drinks, go and get it. Next up, we're going to need some sort of measuring device. If you're a free pour expert, bartender, obviously you don't need a jigger. And if you're making it for yourself and you don't care how big the measures are, you don't need a jigger. But if you have got one like me, use it, because then you can get your drink well balanced. So we're going to be using the pretty much the original rules that we stick to. It works out to be about 2 shots, and we're going to use a sweet and sour base. So first up, it's white rum. It's 3/4 of a shot. Next up, golden rum, 3/4 of a shot. Don't worry about putting dark rum in yet. We're going to use it as a garnish. So, last ingredient to make it up to about 2 shot mark. Cointreau, triple sec, orange liqueur, whatever you got, half a shot. So that equates to your 2 shots. So now you're at your 2 shots, you know you got all the booze in there that you need until the garnish. We're now going to start on our sweet and sour base, which most cocktails have, as we mention every week. I'm using Funkin' Lime, hope you can see that there. If you're using a full lime, a fresh lime, then, use a full lime if you're using fresh lime. So a full fresh lime will be about 25 ml, that's what I've just put in, 1 shot, and that's what you need. And then we're going to balance it out with the half sweet, so the almond sugar syrup. So that's 1 full lime to half sugar syrup, almond sugar syrup. And that's pretty much the drink. There are variations on this drink. This is Trader Vic's drink. This is created, the original Mai Tai arguably was created in 1944 in his bar/restaurant in Oakland, California. There is controversy behind this drink if people start tagging who else they think might have made it. The argument is between Trader Vic and Don the Beachcomber, which was Don the Beachcomber created a Mai Tai in 1933. However, there are a lot more ingredients. The drink does taste different, but there is an argument between those two as to who first created the Mai Tai. So I guess really we're creating here today Trader Vic's Mai Tai. It's shorter, it's simpler, we can make it from home. If you start trying to make Don's Mai Tai, you're going to need, twice the amount of ingredients, and I guarantee you will not be able to get half of them in a supermarket. So let's start with this one. Let's start with the short, simple one, Trader Vic's. Now let's add some ice. As much ice as you can spare. That's quite a bit of ice. And then shake it as hard as you can. Thanks Alex Carr for joining, Sam, Tracy, Jill, Ali, Vicky. Right, okay, that is pretty much this drink done. Really easy. Rum, lime, sugar syrup. It is almond sugar syrup. Google it, you'll be able to get it. And a bit of orange liqueur. Chuck it all back in the glass. We can't afford to use fresh ice because we're bartending from home and we don't have that much. I'm going to get rid of some of that. My glass is a little bit short. We can't afford to be using loads and loads of fresh ice. Last ingredient, and let's call it the garnish so you don't forget your 2 shot rule. Just drizzle some dark rum over the top. for aesthetics, it's really good. And don't forget, garnishes are there to improve aesthetics, the looks of the drink, i.e. And also to tell you what's in the drink. Looking at that, you might not know that's rum, but when you go to sip out the straw, you'll be able to smell there's a lot of rum in that drink. So if we're making this long, there's going to be pineapple juice in there, so whack a pineapple leaf in. If you were to Google how to make a Mai Tai, or Google image Mai Tai, there's going to be mint leaves in there. It's an unusual garnish, really. As I say every week, you want to garnish it with what's in the drink, and there's never any mint in the drink of a Mai Tai. So it's questionable as to whether it should be a garnish, but it is a garnish for a Mai Tai. At the end of the day, the bartender who created it, probably said that. So it is a garnish for a Mai Tai, but for ease of use and ease of remembering, just garnish it with what's in the drink. It adds to the drink. There's lime in the drink, so I'm going to stick a lime wedge on there. And there we have it, one Mai Tai. Up to you how you drink it. If you sip it from the top, you're just going to be drinking rum until you get right down to the rest of it. If you sip it through a straw, again, you're just going to be sticking the rest of it till you get to the rum. So I'm going to mix mine up. There we go. One Mai Tai. I bloody love Mai Tais. The Aperol Spritz can go away. Thank you. That's had its worth. Right, so we're going to do exactly the same thing again, but we're going to make a long drink. So, if you have just made that and you thought, bloody hell, that's a bit strong, chuck it all back in your shaker and we'll show you how to make it longer. So, 3/4 of a shot of white rum. Any white rum, just make sure it's a good one. 3/4 of a shot of golden rum. Same rules apply. Half a shot, triple sec, orange liqueur or whatever orange liqueur you have. And then your sweet and sour. Next in line I've got the sweet, so I'll stick that in first, half a shot. Next up I have my lime. By the way, it's National Mai Tai Day. National Mai Tai Day on the 30th of June. So if you're not making this today, make sure you're getting your ingredients together for the end of next month. And then you can drink Mai Tais all day. See how long you last. Right, okay, so that's exactly what we made before. We're going to make it longer by adding one shot, 25 mils of pineapple juice and orange juice. One shot of each. So usually when you're making a drink longer, it usually ends up to be about 50 mils of mixer to make the drink longer. And then we're going to shake it really hard. Really hard. Loads of ice, because it's a bigger glass. The harder you shake it, the better it will look, because the pineapple juice should get head on it. Let's see how this looks. This one looks better, I might drink this one. Don't forget the garnish. Nice big drizzle of dark rum on top. I'll rob my old garnish and Laura can have that. I only have one pineapple leaf. I didn't buy a pineapple. Found the leaf on the floor, so I thought, yeah, I'll have that. And lastly, a bit of lime, or mint if you're using it. Always put your garnish near the straw, so when you go to drink, you can smell everything. Rum, lime, that's what this drink is. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely love this drink. There you go, director.
Thank you.
So if anyone's got any questions, let us know on here. I'd love to be able to answer them. Any rum related questions, where you can get this stuff from. Just anything in general, drop us a message. Don't forget to tag friends. But anyway, we're nearly at 1:15 and we're nearly on the second part of the show, which means I'm going to bring someone in live. So, now let's introduce our next guest. We have with us someone I've worked with many years ago. He's been working at an Aussie bar called Sunny Boy, which was voted to do the best espresso martini in Manhattan, no less. Incidentally, he was also setting up a new coffee shop before all this kicked off. So everybody welcome, live from Brooklyn, New York, Eddie Van Heel! Woo!
Woo! I feel famous, Dan.
How's it going, Eddie? How's it going?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. I have to put in an earpiece in, so that's everyone that's watching, that's why I've done that. Eddie, tell us, what is it like in lockdown over there?
Yeah, it's, well, firstly, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. Dan was one of my first bosses over in the UK. We worked together, I think it was like 11, 12 years ago, wasn't it? I think.
Oh, God. Was it?
A long time ago. But yeah, no, New York is, as probably expected, a bit crazy. Everyone is still wearing masks and everyone's in lockdown and no one's really going out, but it's the epicenter of all of this. But in the meantime, everyone is adapting and doing things like this and amending to be at home. So people are surviving, and New York's a tough place, so it's full of tough people and everyone's surviving. So hopefully it won't be too much longer and we'll all get through it together.
So, I mean, living in a massive city like that is, there's a lot of high-rise and that sort of thing. Do you manage to get to parks and that sort of stuff, or are you pretty much, stuck to where you live?
Yeah, so luckily in Brooklyn, we have the river. So Manhattan is an island, obviously, so there's rivers all around. So when you live outside of Manhattan, you get to go to the river and have the best views of the city. So that's why we've lived in Brooklyn ever since we've been here, which has been about 5 years. So we get to go down, sit on the parks, on the water's edge, and especially on a sunny day like today, it's beautiful to look at the city. So very
good to hear. So there are outdoor spaces to use.
There are, thank God.
Good. Look, I'm going to hand over to you, Eddie. What are you making for us today?
Cool. So this is a cocktail perfect for this time of year. It's called T-shirt weather. It's actually a cocktail from Sunny Boy, where I've been bartending in New York. They're an Australian-style cafe bar, but they make amazing cocktails. And I thought this one was pretty perfect for today. So it's a mix of just gin, Saint Germain, which is elderflower liqueur, lemon, cucumber, and a bit of soda water. So super sweet, light, refreshing, all very accessible ingredients. So yeah, I'll get started. It's a tasty cocktail, so I can't wait to try it myself. All right, so get the tin. So first thing, I was listening to you, Dan, and over here we do ounces. So I'm gonna convert back to UK terminology. So a shot and a half of gin, as you would say. So get that in. Shot and a half of gin. I'm using Gin Smith, which is a Brooklyn-based gin, super delicious. We go through quite a lot of it over here. And then Saint Germain, which I love putting in all cocktails. I think it's very popular back in the UK. It was when I was there. Elderflower liqueur, very sweet, very floral, but it adds amazing depth to cocktails. So half a shot of Saint Germain, however you want to say it. Put that in the tin. And then, as I got taught a long time ago by Declan McGurk, who was on a couple of weeks ago, a cocktail is very simple. Something strong, something weak, something sour, something sweet. So something strong, something weak. Now I'm going to put in something sour, which is lemon juice. So I'm using a fresh lemon, so I'm just going to do a full shot of lemon juice, which is, just pop it in here. Love using fresh citrus, always adds a much better flavour to a cocktail rather than in the packets, but get what you can get. Shot of lemon juice. And then the thing that makes this cocktail is cucumber syrup. So cucumber and sugar. So if you have a juicer, then you just juice a cucumber. If you don't, get a cucumber, chop it up, put it in a tin, get a muddler, get all the juice out of it. And then I just added a bit of sugar to that, which makes it into just a bit of a syrup. It's very simple. You can do it with anything really, but I've done it with cucumber. So a shot of lemon and now a shot of cucumber syrup. So we'll get that in there. And then give it a good old shake, just 4 ingredients, very simple. So getting the ice in there. And then a bash. trying to copy your shakedown. All right, quick shake, nice and hard. And then we get all the juices from there. And I like to use just a short glass for this one, and use whatever ice, but I have some ice prepared. I like using cubes. I like using cubes or spheres or anything fancy like that, but you can get these off Amazon for like £1, so they're always useful for cocktails.
Nice.
And then straight in. So what I'm looking for is, oh yeah, before I do it, so the last thing with this cocktail, which lengthens it and makes it a bit more summery, is a bit of soda water, or a bit of seltzer, whatever you have. So what I do is just add a splash into the cocktail. Just you don't need to measure it, just add a splash in there. And that just lifts it, gives a bit of fizz. I like a fizzy cocktail, so I add that in. And then what you're looking for is a nice light green cucumber floral colour over the drink. So give it a beautiful strain. And then we have this. So now for the garnish. I have a cucumber. You can either just slice it, but what I like to do is get a peeler and make like a ribbon. A bit fancy, but super easy. So I'll get my peeler and I'll just get on the side of the cucumber, but I'll just get a nice big peel. And then you grab that, give it a little twist, and then pop that into the top of the cocktail. And then with most cocktails, especially with gin, it's always good to add some kind of herb or give it an extra depth on the nose. And with gin, you can add any herb: rosemary, thyme, lavender, whatever you want. Today, I have thyme growing outside, so I'm going to add a bit of thyme. Add that on the top, give it a little whack, and that is a t-shirt weather. See if you can see it.
Absolutely love that. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, super delicious
quite a fancy cocktail, but easy to make at home. And
delicious.
There we go. Perfect. Eddie, you alluded then to having a little garden outside.
Would you like to see it?
I want to see it. Yeah, bearing in mind you live in an apartment, I want to see your little garden.
All right, let me see if I can give you a little view of what's going on outside. Let me see. Okay, so I'm very fortunate to live in a place with a view, but on a day like today, it's worth seeing. So if anyone wants to see New York on a day like today,
that is absolutely incredible.
It's looking pretty special today. Yeah, we're very fortunate. Yeah. So what I always find in New York is the sky is extra blue. I know that sounds weird, but you just have some beautiful days. So yeah, very fortunate on a day like today. The sky's blue. We've got nice cocktails to drink.
I bet you never get bored of that view.
No, we're lucky. But as you probably know, in New York in the winter, it gets brutally cold. So the summers are amazing, but the winters are tough. So we make the most of it when it's sunny.
Yeah, nice. Look, relating back to you bartending at Sunny Boys, what's it like bartending in the US compared to the UK? Is there much difference?
Honestly, not so much, really. Obviously, the different people have different standards. In New York, people usually know what they want to drink. So they come in, they know they're either having a Manhattan, an old-fashioned, an Espresso Martini. I feel like in the UK, people are more willing to try something new and be maybe educated by the bartender. But in New York, I find people know what they want. Maybe that's just a New York mentality. But yeah, not too different. And then the prices is a lot more expensive for cocktails over here.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, no, it's I found that I learned a lot more about cocktails actually back in the UK with you guys. People are getting a lot more educated. There's a lot more programs about how to learn and make cocktails, and I feel like the UK is a lot further ahead than it is in some places in the US. So
God, that's incredible, really, because you have to do a course, don't you? And you have to pass a test to be a bartender in the US. I mean,
yeah,
how does that work, and what's that like?
Yeah, you've got to do a qualification. It's very simple. It's called like a bar server test. but it's more about like the hygiene. So you've got to learn about how to be hygienic when making cocktails, and then it's more just about how to change a keg, and it's about how to clean glasses and what kind of detergent to use in glass washes. It's things like that,
wow.
which is good because it means that you don't need to teach them on the job and everyone knows it already. So
And I guess the bartenders pay for that qualification and go off and do it off their own accord, do they?
depends. It depends how nice your boss is.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So then, also you mentioned Espresso Martinis, and introducing you, I said Sunny Boys had won or voted best Espresso Martinis. Can you tell us how they make it?
Yeah, so at Sunny Boy, because we make a lot of cocktails, they batch everything beforehand. So they get all the spirits, and we get all the spirits made up. But the main thing that makes it so good is because it's kind of a cafe and a coffee shop as well. We have cold brew espresso on tap. So we put Mr. Black. We put vodka, we have the simple syrup, and then we add a bit of cold brew espresso in there as well. So we shake that all up, and it just makes the most amazing. It makes the most amazing espresso martini. So everyone can make a good one, but when you've got good coffee, that's the thing that changes everything. So
yeah,
and
going back to the difference in bartending from the US to the UK. Or vice versa. I mean, as you know, in the UK, we live off our wage, probably minimum wage or whatever it is as a bartender. I think America's fairly similar as far as wages go, but you get massive tips over there. Do the bartenders pretty much live off tips, or?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. The wage is pretty much minimum wage in most bartender salaries, unless you're working at a very prestigious place. But most bars. Places will give you minimum wage, but then it's all about the tips, and you kind of have to tip in the US. It's not like whether your drink was good or not. That's what the bartenders live from. So in the UK it's a bit more, if you tip it was amazing, but over here it's kind of just built into the.
It'll be nice to try and get more of that culture over here somehow. But,
I remember the days when I used to work a Friday night in the UK, and if I walked away with like £3, I was happy. So
yeah, definitely enough to buy a pint.
Exactly.
So I also alluded to you were about to set up a coffee shop before all this kicked off. How's that going? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so found a small little place in Soho in Manhattan. It's a very small place that's the entrance to a gym that was one of my friends who owns, and he wasn't doing anything with the space. So I said, hey, would you be open for me to coming in and making a little coffee shop out of it? So we built it. It's ready to go. It's called Derby, and we're about to open the doors just before all this happened. And obviously that's taken a back seat, but we're hoping to open in July. It's an Aussie-style coffee shop. There's a lot in New York, but which means there'll be flat whites, there'll be all those kind of good things. So that'll be opening soon. So keep an eye out.
For those people who are watching this and haven't been to New York, me and Laura are lucky enough to go on here. And there are a lot of coffee shops, but then everyone goes to coffee shops, don't they? Like, they're busy places at all times of the day and night.
Yeah, New York lives off coffee, and if there's a space you can open a coffee shop, you'll probably make money. So that's kind of what I've done. And as long as it's good, people look for good coffee, and that's the key. So
I bet you can't wait to get stuck into that.
Hopefully, we should be open soon, and I'll keep you updated.
Good. Also, knowing Eddie personally, I heard on the grapevine that I don't know how many people have seen the Circle in the UK. It's basically a thing where people live in a block of flats. They never see each other. They meet each other on this platform. A bit like today's day and age, where you only ever interact by social media, but the social media is blocked, so you never see their faces. It's always text. So it's easy to catfish people, so you don't actually know who you're talking to. Eddie, I know, his face was used, and was it your lifestyle to catfish someone else? So someone stole your identity, basically?
So yeah, Netflix reached out to me on Instagram of all places, and were like, "Oh, we'd love to use your profile on a new show that's coming out." And I was like, "Oh, okay, tell me more." And then they were like, "Hey, yeah, so it's this show called The Circle. It's based in the UK, but they're bringing it to the US." And yeah, they called me up and said, "Hey, if we can use your face and your profile for someone else to catfish, we'll pay you like $1,000." So, I was like, yeah, why not? So Netflix, on New Year's Day this year, The Circle came out in the US, and I think it's like episode 4. Some guy comes in and pretends to be me.
That's absolutely incredible.
So if
there's only a certain amount of people. There's only a certain amount of people on this planet that can happen to, and that one of them is obviously and definitely you.
It seems weird things seem to come my way, so I'm trying to vibe with it.
Oh dear. Listen, Eddie, you've been an absolute star. Thank you so much for coming on this. I love your drink. I love your flat.
I loved it. Anytime.
Listen, everybody, Eddie Van Heel. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, Eddie. Cheers, Eddie. Right, so we'll post links to Sunny Boys where Eddie's been working after this in the comments. We'll also post links to his coffee shop, assuming he's got links for that set up and running and ready to go. We'll confirm on Monday who our guest is then. We'll also confirm what drink we're going to make and the ingredients you'll need. Don't forget, if you're watching live, tag someone who will want to see this and tell them why. That will then enter you into a competition to win free cocktails. The more people you tag, the more chance you have in winning. If you're watching on playback, hashtag cocktails every day. Tag someone who you think will be interested for your chance to win free cocktails. Easy as that. Just tag someone. That is me. I'm Dan Lakin, and I am done.